see where we at on this. Play a little music first, and then we get right into it. Morning when I rose, yeah, I didn't have no doubt. I didn't have no doubt. Jewel Daniels, how you doing? Ardelia, good to see you on this thing with us. Some of y'all been here since 2020, rocking with us. Cheryl Coxon, how are you? Erwin Bain. Erwin Bain. Come on, y'all know that's down home, South Carolina right there. Priscilla Sproul, Julia Barron. I have no doubt. I didn't have no doubt. Brian. I know you didn't have no doubt, Jewel. I know that's right. Mike Missy, how you doing, brother? I didn't have no doubt. Karama, how you doing? We got a great panel for y'all today. Maria, Spain, how are you? Sinopoli, Spain, how are you? Perfectly, I got that right. Brian Bembry. How y'all doing today? Hope everybody's doing well. I went to this rally yesterday. It was super exciting down in Philadelphia. It was awesome, awesome, and more awesome. United Community Corporation, you got your people in here. Yeah, it was incredible. Thousands of people inside and outside. It was just an incredible experience. I loved every minute of it. These my views here. Ruth Ellis. I loved it. Vice President looked incredible. Tim Walsh was incredible. He's just the bomb. I love this guy. Jackie Yard. All Politics are Local, WRNU Radio. How you doing? Ed Riley, glad to see you on with us. I think I'm gonna be on next Friday, or is it this Friday? I think I'm gonna be on All Politics are Local. Fatim Muhammad, how you doing? Let's get right into this, y'all. I know you want to hear a little bit more, but I gotta cut it off. Evelyn Sanz Madrid, how are you? Colette's Unique Boutique. I like that. Sylvia Sanders, Betty Jenkins, Woody Wood, y'all popping up now. Venice Taliaferro, how you doing? Good to see you on here. Here we go. Thank you all for getting on with us. We have Kachia Muhammad. How you doing? We have a great panel today to talk to you about some of the things that we're doing here in the city of Newark. That's right, Shelly Mitchell Vaughn. Good to see you. We have with us today Heather Thompson, who is the executive director for Table to Table. Also, Craig Maynard, who is the executive director of United Community Corporation, and Jeff Yorzik. Did I say that right? Senior Director of Sustainability at HelloFresh. We're going to be talking to you guys today about some of the things that we are doing in the city, specifically around food and food insecurity. First, like for these guys to talk about what they are doing individually. What are you doing, and who you are, so people can know on our network here who what exactly that you do, the organization that you come from, all of that. So we can start. Heather, you can start, and we can move on from there.
All right. Hello, everybody. So I am the executive director with Table to Table. We are New Jersey's first food rescue organization. So we are focused on sourcing fresh, healthy food from food donors all throughout northern New Jersey, making sure that we keep good food from being thrown away and that we instead get that quality food into the communities where it's needed. And we've been around for 25 years and been partnering with various organizations in Newark pretty much since the beginning. To date, we have rescued 300 and enough food for about 311 million meals, gotten that from supermarkets and grocers and amazing partners like HelloFresh, and then worked with community partners like the United Community Corporation and the Ironbound Community Corporation and a whole lot of others in Newark, as well as other cities, to get that food out into our communities. So that is what we are all about. And we are very proud to do the work we do in Newark and to work with Jeff and Craig and so many other incredible partners.
Good, great. Craig Maynard, you want to talk a bit about what's going on?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor, for having me. United Community Corporation is the community action agency for the city of Newark. We have a whole host of programs all designed to help people who are struggling through poverty or the symptoms of poverty and hopefully help them get out of poverty and raise their own quality of living and for themselves and their families. UCC has like I said, a lot of programs, but primarily we are focused on those who are extremely at the low end of poverty, homeless, the families that are struggling to put food on the table, and that's why I'm here today to talk about our partnership with the Table to Table and the city of Newark to provide food options, healthy food options, and hopefully help folks put food on their tables and their families. I apologize.
And before we move on to you, Jeff, I was at Hyatt Court and I saw a refrigerator there, Table to Table, and UCC was involved in that with eggs, meat, all kind of stuff in there. So I don't know what I got somebody here saying something, but all kind of stuff that was in there. And Craig Maynard is local, by the way, so we need to figure out what we're talking about here. But is a full refrigerator full of goods in there.
Yeah.
Was amazing, and that's a program that happens in different places around the city. Excellent. So Jeff, you want to jump in?
Happy to, sir. And really awesome to hear about the refrigerator program. Those have been so successful in so many cities. Love to hear that. And certainly, with a partnership that HelloFresh has with Table to Table, I hope some of our surplus food is ending up in there. A lot of people recognize HelloFresh, home delivery of food. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is because our recipes change every week, we have a lot of surplus at the end of every week. We've been working with Table to Table really since we came to Newark back in 2018. And we actually just checked the numbers the other day. We're over 19 million pounds of surplus food that we've donated to Table over the last, I guess that'd be 6 years or so. And actually almost 2 million pounds of food this year. A lot of that's fresh produce. Table to Table does a fantastic job of getting that food into the community and into places like those fridges. And of course, we have a partnership with the city of Newark as well, with produce boxes every week going out. And certainly, Mayor Baraka, thank you for your partnership on that. I know that your office organizes that directly to set up a location that people can go to every week to pick up these boxes. So
Right.
happy to get this produce in here. Our mission as a company is to change the way people eat forever. And it's important that everybody has access to that from our perspective. So really happy to be involved. Really happy to be here today with Heather and Craig and yourself.
Right. So we've been doing this with HelloFresh for how long now?
We started the weekly program in 2020. Actually, that was April of pandemic. We started that when food insecurity hit its worst. But
Right.
we've been making sure that we donate our surplus, which is pretty substantial, every single week, really, since we started business back in 2012.
Yeah.
Right. And so every Wednesday, I know we give out food every Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's great. And every parts of the city, and there's millions of meals that have been going out. Is there any reason want to get into why was important to give these meals out?
Boy, I bet everybody here on this call could answer that one. Food insecurity, just to even get us started, food insecurity only got worse during the pandemic, and it still hasn't gotten better, even though many of us aren't getting sick anymore. It's just a major issue we need to fight against. I think, Heather, I'm really curious to hear your thoughts here.
Yeah, well, I'll chime in and say that, access to not just food for the sake of food, but nutritious and healthy food is so critical, right? People who are struggling to make ends meet and might, go to a pantry or even, go shopping on their limited budget, they're going to end up receiving, in a lot of cases, the canned goods and the shelf-stable goods and the cereals and the pastas. And, that's maybe sufficient to, get some calories and fill your belly. But if you really want to thrive, and I'm looking at my friend Craig here because I also come from the community action world, and we use that word a lot. People deserve to thrive. And if we want people to thrive, we have to support their health. And nutrition and health are intrinsically linked. So any model that we can create together through these city distributions that we do along with HelloFresh throughout the city every single week, through the community. I muted myself. I got so excited I slammed my space bar. Through the community refrigerator model, through some other things that we do with other partners in Newark, school hubs, all these different ways to get fresh food, healthy food, produce and protein and dairy products out into the community in a way that makes it really accessible for people, that makes it convenient for people, and that tears down barriers instead of creating more challenges and more barriers for people who are they have enough to worry about. That's the kind of work that we are striving to do and that we're able to do with partners like this.
Right. Can you tell me the kind of foods that you have that you guys are distributing? Because
Yeah.
somebody said that we're giving out canned goods. We can give out some canned goods. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I would like to at least talk about the variety of different foods that's being given out.
Yeah, I mean, from Table to Table's perspective, like when I look at the food that we rescued and provided throughout, New Jersey last year, but a good portion of that, about 8 million pounds, went out into Newark. 60% of that is produce, and over 80% of that is perishable food. So that's really what we're focused on, is the healthy, the fresh, the perishable, because we know how difficult that is to access. It doesn't mean that it doesn't, go along with canned foods and
Right,
other sort of
right.
shelf-stable things, but we got to find that balance.
Right. You want to chime in, Jeff?
Yeah, so the box program that we have every week with the city, that has carrots in it, tomatoes. We do put some pasta and sauce in there, as well as some chicken. But there's a number of produce items that go in there. There's onions in there, there's potatoes, stuff that allows people to make fresh food at home, be that some kind of a pasta dish or really anything they want to make with it. We're always happy to provide recipe ideas. I mean, that is our business, but we like people to prepare what they like. And we know that, everybody has their own different cultural preferences. We want them to have the ingredients they need to make healthy, fresh food at home. And getting that into the community is really where the city of Newark really shines, because we can get the food there, but in fact, it's the city of Newark that figures out where and how to get it into the community. And I think that's part of what's so exciting about these fridge programs in terms of creating cold storage that allows for these, because a lot of this is very perishable, that allows this stuff to be stored well.
Well, we just got finished. Well, Craig, you want to talk about the refrigerator program, but we just got finished talking about all of the fresh fruits and all the other stuff that's involved in that are being passed out as well. So, Craig, you want to jump in?
Yes, yeah. So I want to just add that we have in our refrigerators, we have and it's a hut, if you can imagine, just this kind of shelter that supports not only the refrigerator and the refrigerated items, but also dry goods section with shelving. And there are things like rice and beans, and there are canned goods. Once we get it, we try to put it in the shelter in a way that's both easily identifiable to those customers who are coming up, but also it's placed there in a neat and organized way to add some dignity to the process. But we do provide canned goods. We in the refrigerator, often you'll see proteins, that's fish, chicken, beef, and dairy products, cheese, milk. What we try to do is add these supplements to the consumer so that they can, like the gentleman Jeff said, make the meal that they want to eat. And so we're really proud of the work that not only those on this call are doing, but the community, because they have some of the neighborhoods have truly adopted this refrigerator resource and have owned it. And not only is it UCC providing some of these meals and along with our partners, but some of the community members are helping fill those shelves because a community is taking care of their own community, and I get goosebumps just thinking about it, and it's wonderful.
How long did that last at Hyatt? When I went down there, I saw that refrigerator super full with all that food. How long did it last there? I thought it was gonna last for 5 minutes, actually.
Oh, it was probably like 6, 7 minutes once the word got out. So what we have done is we've increased our services to those refrigerators. Some refrigerators we can sit there for 20 minutes loading it, and it takes half that time to go. But others, because of this in and out with the community members helping each other, it could last longer. But the need is still there. The need is still there.
Right. Well, that's great, man. And there are a lot of people who do feeding. In Newark, we get really competitive. People are feeding as well. They're doing all kind of stuff. Obviously, they should probably come down to see us to figure out how to grow their program so they can feed people better than what they're doing now, or more people than they want to feed. I mean, you guys, working with you guys would be helpful to work with you, but you're not competition. You actually are doing the same thing, and the more people that are feeding, the better it is. We are in the city because there are a lot of people that need food. That's for sure. So I definitely appreciate the work you're doing. Appreciate the work anybody is doing, making sure people are eating. But doing this is God's work. It's not really You're not really doing this for notoriety. But if you need support and help, we obviously can help you do that. Any specific thing you want to add or programs that you have coming up that you think people should know about?
If I can jump in. So yes, the UCC supplies these refrigerators 6 days a week. So that's Monday through Saturday. And there's always a line. And I would just encourage folks who have, if they have enough to share, to take advantage of those respective refrigerators in their own community, their neighborhoods, and help us because that line has not been getting any shorter. The need is still there. And we would appreciate any help and volunteers, donations that they can make to help us keep this program going.
Excellent.
I'll
Anybody else?
chime in. Yeah, I'll chime in too and say, a big part of our job is to get the food, right? The fresh food from where it is to where it needs to go. That's the way we're working with the UCC to get that refrigerator at Hyatt House stocked a couple of times a week. Hopefully we can, keep building on that. but we use our Table to Table iRescue app to recruit volunteers to help transport that food. So I just dropped the link into the chat here. I think it'll get copied over into the Facebook feed. So, you know, any local volunteers who have a little time to spare, who can take care of that transport here and there, that will help us stay on top of getting that fresh food into the communities in a really timely manner.
Right.
Right on.
That's
And
great.
this is the final piece. I mean, we kicked off our summer program with No Kid Hungry just a few weeks ago. Did a great program with the city. We do plan to have additional, back to school donation events around that as well. But certainly we always have our weekly. I believe that's posted on the mayor's website. That's 1,300 produce boxes that go out into the community every week, and certainly making sure everybody's aware that that location moves around, but the notification on that is always available on the mayor's website there in Newark. So that food's always out there, and that goes pretty quick too. Talking about that
That's right.
that fridge there, I think you've told me those 1,300 boxes. Essentially, those last about 45 minutes usually. So
That's right.
they go pretty quick.
Right. And there was a time when we started, you could call a number and people would bring them to you. That happened at one point too. We were doing that as well. But we like to give it out in the street. And a lot of people come. And we obviously don't discriminate against people that are hungry. So that's for sure. And we want to make sure that people who need food can come get it. The problem is we need more folks doing the things that you guys are doing, giving out food. And that's important. So the more people do it, the better it is. And you have to work with other people to figure out how to do what you're doing better. That's it.
Yeah.
But any last things anybody want to say before we get off?
If I was just to build on what you're saying there, if there's any corporations or anybody listening in here today, companies like us are really good at procuring food, getting it where it needs to go. But it's partners like Table to Table, United Community Corp, bringing the fridges to the table, and the city of Newark just setting up these distributions. It's these kind of partnerships that really give it power and get that food where it needs to go. None of us could do this by ourselves. It really does take partnerships here. So just want to express thanks to everybody here. And if anybody's listening, wondering how would they get involved, it takes all of us working together on this. And there's a lot of partners who are ready to work on this. The city's a great first place to check in with, because they're very good at this and they can help anybody work this out.
Okay. Anybody else? Nope. Well, I thank you guys for joining us. We got to get you on again so you could talk a little bit more about what's happening. Maybe we'll have some other folks come on with you as well. So appreciate you for sharing with us today. You guys have an incredible week and rest of the weekend. So God bless you. Take care.
Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much,
much.
Mayor.
God
Thanks,
bless.
everybody.
Thank you, Mayor. Bye-bye, everyone.
Have a great night.